Chapter 27. The Story of the Vid Gorilla. King Shashita's previous birth as King Satrajit. Sutta Goswami said, after happily narrating his story to all the members of the assembly, King Shashita addressed Lord Kalki with folded hands. King Shashita said, "My dear Lord, O Master of the three worlds, all these kings are under your protection. We are ready to carry out whatever you order. I now wish to go to Haridwar, which is very pleasing to the sages, and execute penance. My sons and grandsons have taken shelter of you, and so please protect them. O Lord of the demigods, I know that you are already aware of my intention. I am sure that you remember how in your previous incarnation you had defeated Jambavan, the king of the bears, and also killed the Vid gorilla." When the king finished speaking and prepared to depart along with his wife, Lord Kalki exhibited a mood of embarrassment and lowered his head. Thus, upon seeing this, the many kings said, "My dear Lord, what did King Shashita say to you just now? Why have you lowered your head after hearing his words?" Lord Kalki said, "My dear kings, you should ask this question to King Shashita. He will certainly clarify everything, because he is very intelligent and is firmly devoted to me." Being advised by Lord Kalki in this way, the assembled kings turned to King Shashita and spoke as follows. The many kings said, "You are certainly very intelligent. What did you say to Lord Kalki, and why did he lower his head after hearing it?" King Shashita said, "At the time of Lord Ramachandra's manifest pastimes, Lakshmana killed Indrajit. As a result, this son of Ravan was delivered from his life as a Rakshas. As a result of killing a Brahmin with a fiery weapon, Lakshman was afflicted by an incapacitating fever. Upon seeing Lakshman in that painful condition, the Vid gorilla, who was a renowned physician belonging to the dynasty of the Ashwini Kumars, whispered a mantra into his ear. He also wrote that mantra down, placed it over Lakshman's head, and asked him to look at it. When Lakshman saw this mantra, his fever instantly subsided, and he became completely cured. Lakshman then requested the Vid gorilla to ask for a benediction. In response, the Vid gorilla cheerfully said, "I pray that I will die at your hands, and thus be relieved of this lower form of body." To this, Lakshman said, "When in the future I appear as Balaram, you will be killed by me, and thus freed from your life as a monkey. Anyone who writes, 'The Vid gorilla lives on the northern shore of the salt ocean,' on a palm leaf, and gazes at it, will be instantly cured of his fever. If someone simply writes this mantra and keeps it above his doorway so that he sees it every day, he will also be cured of fever very easily." Having received this benediction from Lakshman, the Vid gorilla continued to live a long and healthy life. Ultimately, he was killed by Lord Balaram and thus attained liberation. O kings, when the reincarnation of the Lord, Vamandev, covered the three worlds with 2 steps, Jambavan circumambulated his raised foot. Lord Vaman became astonished to witness his great speed and said, "O King of Bears, you are certainly very powerful. Now ask me for a benediction." Jambavan, who was an expansion of Lord Brahma, replied with great pleasure, "Please award me the benediction that I may die by means of your Sudarshan Chakra." Lord Vaman said, "When I descend to the earth in my original form as Lord Krishna, I will cut off your head with my chakra so that you will be liberated from material existence. Thereafter, at the time of Lord Krishna's manifest pastimes, I took birth as King Satrajit, a great devotee of the sun god. Because of a rumor spread by me, Lord Krishna's reputation became tarnished. I had a younger brother named Prasena. It so happened that Jambavan killed a lion that had taken my precious jewel. The unlimitedly powerful Lord Krishna, out of fear of defamation, was searching for this jewel at this time. Finally, he came upon Jambavan within a mountain cave, and for the sake of the jewel, they fought. The king of the bears gradually came to recognize his worshipable lord, and the duel ended peacefully. Thus, there was no need for Jambavan to be killed by Lord Krishna's chakra. The king of bears attained liberation simply by receiving the darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jambavan gave not only the jewel, but also his daughter, Jambavati, to Lord Krishna, whose complexion was the color of tender grass. Thereafter, Lord Krishna returned to Dwarka. He returned the jewel to me, even though his queens would have certainly cherished it. I was embarrassed to discover that I had spread a false rumor about the Lord. To save face, I insisted that the Lord keep the jewel, and I also gave him my daughter, Satyabhama, in marriage. The Lord graciously accepted both from me. After some time had passed, Lord Krishna returned the jewel to me and went to Hastinapur, along with Satyabhama. When the Lord was thus far away from Dwarka, king named Shatadanva killed me and took the jewel. I clearly remember everything that Lord Kalki did in his previous incarnation. I had falsely accused Lord Krishna of stealing my jewel, and so I was not liberated from material existence at the time of my death. Therefore, in this lifetime, I will attain my goal by handing over my daughter, Rama, the incarnation of Satyabhama, to Lord Kalki, the incarnation of Lord Krishna. I had hoped to be killed by Lord Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra. I was convinced that if I was killed by him in battle, then I would attain liberation. After hearing how he had sanctioned the killing of his father-in-law, Lord Kalki exhibited embarrassment by lowering his head out of fear of defamation. All the assembled kings became very pleased and astonished while hearing this wonderful story, while the sages became so absorbed in contemplating Lord Kalki's transcendental qualities that they forgot their separate existence. Those who hear this story as narrated by King Shashita will be awarded happiness, fame, and prosperity in this lifetime, and ultimately attain liberation from material existence. Thus ends the translation of the 27th chapter of Shri Kalki Puran. Shri Radha.